Hello Blood Bowl fans, and we're back with the CCL. I had 2 games before this that were just horrible. One against a kill team that I barely survived against, and the second one was just a complete dice fest with Camry getting all of the dice in their favour and me getting none. So I'm not going to record them because they were pretty boring to play, and I'm sure they're pretty boring to watch as well as a result. One-sided games aren't usually that interesting to watch. This one, however, was very tense, was very hard, and was good right up to the end. I enjoyed this game and it could have gone either way. And I thank Morvis for the game, even though there were moments when we were kind of a little bit at odds with each other. Eventually we ended up appreciating each other's play, I think. At least I hope. And the orcs are singing, here we go, here we go, here we go, over and over again, because orcs are annoying. And the Pet Collection are singing, look at that doggy in the window. This one doesn't have a tail. During the last 2 matches, Frankenstein took an armor value hit, the guard zombie took a movement value hit, Leica leveled up again and was given plus movement, and one of the zombies leveled up and was given block. I can't remember if it was the match before or 2 matches ago, but the dirty player zombie has also been given block now. Igor is still a complete rookie. I hate ghouls with a passion, and Monster is really close to leveling up because he did some damage last game. And I think that's all for new information. Still no pet yet. I'm hoping to get one this game. But against orcs, with all their armor value, it's not very likely, you know. But I'm going to do my best to put one down, and I was actually TB up in this game, so he managed to take a wizard, which is horrible news for my team, because we struggle with the ball, mostly in the first place. Anyway, let's see how this one goes then. So, Ghoul is now the designated ball carrier, and Leica is basically my designated blitzer. And I don't bother using kickoff return this time, even though the ball goes to the opposite direction of the pitch. I like Leica where he is, I just want him to do damage. I don't need him to do anything else really. And that's a good start. That's lineman gone already. That puts Morbus down to 10 players. Not a good opening for him. But a fantastic opening for me. Yeah, he went for a relatively standard setup. I don't like this sort of setup personally with the... And that's another armor break. Armor value 9 is doing well this game. I don't usually like the 4-4-3 setup for orcs, though it is quite standard if you want to play the way the orcs are supposed to be played, I guess. But I don't know, throwers and goblins, they add a little bit of variety to the team that you don't have with just all the strong pieces. And to be honest, linemen are pretty useless. I don't like having more than one of them. The only thing they're useful for is standing on the line. I made a small mistake here realistically, but I wanted to do some damage if possible, so I do. But I put Leica in a really precarious position where he is very much on his own and there's a good chance he's going to get hurt. I thought for a long time about doing it, but I did end up going through with it. And even though I don't have a bribe, I am going to take a foul with my dirty player piece, because he has dirty player and that's what he's for. I think I have a loner this game as well, but I might be wrong. Maybe the loner was last game. Yeah, the loner was last game, okay. My one positive of putting Leica here, if the roll goes wrong, which isn't very likely but possible, I can surf a piece. So even though it's going to hurt when he gets punched probably, if it doesn't hurt too bad, I can probably return with a surf. Here we go anyway. And yes, it hurts. Leica is injured. Badly hurt at least, but Necro doesn't help, so that's Leica gone for the whole game, which is bad news for me every time, because Leica is probably the key player in this team. And yeah, Frankenstein with his armor value 7, I am actually going to replace him. I have replaced him after this match, I'll tell you now. I've got, what do they call him? Yuri, the apprentice. Frankenstein is still in the team, but when Frankenstein dies, I will change him into a zombie, and Yuri will take over the role of white. Failing the reroll is bad news, so I will reroll that. That's an early reroll, but I'm trying to do damage to the big pieces here as best as possible, because everyone has the same armor value. Even the blitzers, I think. Yeah, it's all armor value 9. Yeah. So if I'm going to hit something with my pieces that do a lot of damage, I may as well hit the pieces that are going to be worse to lose. That's another armor break. That's another injury. Yikes. He's probably going to have that. Yeah, has to really. He can't afford to lose a Black Orc so early. And it would put him down to 9 players, which is just too few. Well, he has knocked out the wolf, so maybe he could have gone down to 9. But anyway, he didn't. And I agree with that choice. Overall, I actually think War was played very well. It was one of the better games that I've had in CCL, and even in Wood Wars recently was pretty fair. Wood Wars I haven't been playing very well, and in CCL I've been, at least today, I've been getting diced a lot, so it was nice having a relatively fair game, where both coaches were playing pretty well. Fails GFI, he's got to reroll that because he wants the ball carried down, of course, and he gets a POW. So, Igor is going down. Let it be back next turn at least. And he tries to GFI to the ball, which fails, which is good news for me. It means I can pick up the ball freely. Should pick up this zombie first though, and I do. Good. Move this piece as well into a safer position where he's more useful. And maybe also surround this Black Orc as well. Maybe even take the block, as I have block on the piece that I'm going to blitz with. No, I'm actually smart enough to move Frankenstein as well. Okay, that was good movement for me on the most part. And the goal goes to the ball. Yes, need to reroll. Reroll is good. Moves into a slightly safer, but by no means safe position. Assuming that this goes well though, which it does, I can move this zombie to lock up the lineman here. And that's what I'll do. That gives me a free shot at this Black Orc and this Blitzer here, with these 2 pieces respectively. And I'm going to follow. Even though it frees up the Black Orc a little bit, it does mean none of these pieces are moving for certain, and I will follow again. So everything has to dodge or block in order to get out. Yep, fairly content with that turn. Let's see what the Orcs can do in response. Probably that's the best thing this Blitzer could have done, actually. Moving to this side just in case. And he's got to reroll the push, yep. Very good choice to reroll this match. I think on both teams' side, yeah, we both did that very well. And he did reroll into a POW, which puts Igor down. He doesn't need a POW though, he just needs a 6 or a 2. Though it's pretty easy for me to blitz this piece back, get him down, and move Igor back onto the ball. And that's another Orc out. Orc armor value is not helping here. Though I do have Mighty Blow on these pieces, and I am using that specifically to take these blocks. Though the zombie did some damage as well when I think about it. Yeah, trying my best to put this lineman down because it is the weak link in the team. Losing them isn't such a big deal for Morbus, but at the same time, I don't know, when they're down, they're not very useful. And now we have to take 1 dice. Oh no, we have a 2 die there, sorry. And that's a 2 down that I will take because I have Mighty Blow. There's a small chance of knock out the Black Orc. And also the piece is based anyway, so it's not going anywhere anytime fast. Push is good enough here. He just wants to free up this Blitzer so it can blitz potentially the ball carrier, Frankenstein. And he doesn't blitz, that's quite clever, he just bases the piece. What I know that I don't do, but I maybe should have done, no, actually this way's better. I don't move the ball, because I think it's safer keeping the ball here. What I could have done was hand it off to the ghoul and move the ghoul into a safer position, but I actually prefer what I did in the end, even though it's going to cost me a turn of movement. Yeah, I'm taking a load of 1-dice here because I need the numbers basically. I know that Morbus made a comment saying that basically he was making fun of the fact that I was taking lots of 1-dice, but I was just trying to get the numbers. That's all it was. And they're working, and I have a reroll if they don't work. Didn't need to take this one was a little bit much, but I did want this piece down and this piece free, so I'm glad that one did in fact pay off. The one problem with moving the ghoul forward as well would be that it's an automatic zap from the wizard, whereas with the ball being here, the wizard is less valuable. Though I do need to move the ball forward this turn for certain, and I'm going to try and do it through the middle, because that's where we have the numbers basically. I did consider using Monster as the ball carrier, but it's just too unlikely that he doesn't pick up the ball basically. So when I look at it, it's the exact same likeliness, so maybe I should have used him as the ball carrier. And again, Eagle goes down. That's kind of a theme in this game. Eagle just keeps going down. Yeah, I've decided that I need to move the ball this turn without a doubt, and I kind of want to put it this way, but there's no safe way this way, and I give up the idea of using Monster as the ball carrier, and I use him instead as a piece to lock up what we have here. And it also gives me a pretty solid block on this black orc here. That leads to another armor break, which is very good news for me. And I kind of want to put the ball here, but I do move pieces out. So I want to give it here instead, so this piece can move into a safer position, I think. Now, having looked at that, this piece should have gone this way. And yeah, I do exactly that. I give it to the zombie here and try to put the zombie this way, but handoff fails. Reroll. Handoff fails again. That's the ball gone. That's bad news for me. On the plus side though, at least he's not going to fireball, because that would have been an automatic fireball in this position if I did catch the ball. And I didn't move the zombie. Okay, blitz on the ghoul. He's trying to knock the ghoul out. That's one of his main jobs, and finally, he doesn't get knocked down. Dodge finally works. And he does a very good job of locking up the ball here. I was quite impressed by this play. He wasn't greedy with trying to get the ball too early. I mean, he has two pieces, though the skull is unfortunate, and the double skull is much more unfortunate. That actually gives me a chance to steal the ball, but it's not a very good one. The plan here basically is to put these two pieces down and get the white through the gap, run him up, and put him into a scoring position. He would get zapped, without doubt, but, well, the wizard fails 1 in 6, so may as well take the chance. And the ghoul moves into a support position where I can pass the ball, but I'm not going to pass this turn for certain. So even if the zap does come, which it would, still I would have a chance of passing the ball to the ghoul. So these two pieces have got to go down, and that piece had to go down first, which I did with the wrestle piece. So even though I got a 2 down, I did wrestle him to the ground instead. Push is not good enough. He's going to have to do. And power is great on the black orc, he gives the white the gap. And now we're going to pick up the ball. At least try. And we fail, which is bad news. It's my drive, so he doesn't have to score, and he doesn't have a piece that's capable of doing it at the moment. This lineman could, but it's way too risky to get the ball to him, and I have too many pieces to counter-attack with. So taking the ball would be a bad play here on the side of Morbus. The only reason to take the ball is to stop me from scoring, but the KO on Frankenstein is huge for him because it means that my two pieces that can really move the ball here are now down, and I have to use a zombie or Frank even. Sorry, I keep calling him Frank. He's Frank in the old version of this team. And Monster are the only pieces that can play the ball here. he dodges out the lineman, which is a strange play, because it takes away his only chance to score. I am going to use Monster here to pick up the ball, because he's the only option, but I am going to make sure that the Orks can't return score. That's why I'm moving everything first, and these two pieces too. One here, and I guess one up here somewhere, or maybe I'll put them both on this. I'll even blitz, yes, because I'm going to use Frank as a dodge, of course. The block is good. Let's put the lineman down and keep him down. No. Didn't really need to take that block, though if it put him down it would have helped me a little bit, but not at all really actually. And dodge fails anyway, monster goes down. That's the end of my scoring chance this half. Orks can't score as well though, so we're going into the second half 0-0. He's just going to try and do some damage in the meantime. And that is some damage. That is just done. And that's an injury on Splinter. And Splinter is my dirty player, and he's now got -1 movement, unless the Necro can help me. No. Generation failed. So, -1 movement on the dirty player, which is a pretty bad piece to get minus movement on, because I want him to be able to move around the pitch and foul where possible. So that one hurts a little bit. And he's going to blitz Igor as well, because Igor is the one piece that he can put out that is a real danger to the Ork team, because he's one of the fastest pieces after the wolf, but the wolf's already gone. And he tries a dodge, which fails to pick up the ball, and that's good enough to take us into halftime. So 0-0 at halftime. There's one Ork out injured, and the KO returns. And I have 2 injuries, and the KO which returns. So 10 against 9 going into the second half. And my kick, Ork receiving. I set up a kind of push defense. I've never actually explained why I do this before, but I put these pieces on the line, so when the line of scrimmage does push up, unless he pushes all the pieces, I can just block back and get some good blocks on the pieces that do break through the line. Though a good coach, of course, will move lots of pieces up seeing exactly what I'm doing. But, well, a lot of coaches aren't as experienced as you'd think, especially in CCL for some reason, especially at low TV CCL more to the point. So, Morbus mostly wants to lock up the ball, and he doesn't have to move it anywhere yet, but he wants to make sure that it's definitely his, which is fair. And he does shield the ball here with as many pieces as he can. Can't remember the word, screen. And he takes his first block, which is a stun, and he doesn't follow, which is clever so long as he doesn't follow with any piece, but it's not so clever if he follows with 1 or 2, because if he follows with 1 or 2, that's exactly what I want him to do. And that's a push, and there's the first follow. And he brings in the second lineman in support though, so that's quite clever, and he can blitz this piece here, lineman in here, and my second line of defense is useless. But he doesn't follow, when he should have, really, there. If he follows there and follows there, I've got 1 dice all round. I'm half die on the Black Ork, but he doesn't. And a push on Gerhardt, and he doesn't follow again, so I can take a free block on this Black Ork. Thank you. First of all, I'm going to put another piece on the line, a guard piece, and Ghoul is going to come and defend against this Blitzer, and I'm going to blitz this Blitzer. That's the piece I've decided to blitz, because it's the one that's most forward. And I have a block piece here, so I can take a free 1-die block against the Black Ork with little risk. And I even move Frankenstein into support, though it's not going to make a difference, though it is going to stop this lineman from moving at least. And that's another armor break on a Black Orc. That's a stun. Now I'm just going to bring the last zombie in, and this is a half die. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to make him roll the dice instead. Here. Sometimes I take half dice, but when you've got line on line, it's not really a good idea. And I've also noticed during the game that he doesn't follow very often, so by keeping all the pieces here, it means these 3 pieces aren't going anywhere, and he's going to free up my zombies. The ones he doesn't kill or injure, at least. And this is good positioning of the ball. He's made it difficult for me already to get to it, but he just gets a push on Igor, which is good news for me. I'm going to try and do a couple of turns to get to him here, because I realize even from this point it's going to be very hard to stop him. And he has freed up a zombie, like I said, though he was clever enough not to take any more blocks. So we're going to look to see what we can do to this line here, and he's not going anywhere, so I put him back on the line, because he can't come this way. I can take a block against this lineman, which gets put down, and then this piece gets freed up. And the piece I want to put down is this piece, because I want a gap at the front. That's the idea here. And I don't even mean to blitz actually, but that's just a push, which isn't good enough. I've got to follow, locking up these 2 pieces, letting these pieces free, but I want to block this line if possible, so that's what I'm going for. And that block was better. Blitzer goes down. I should have blitzed there really, put the ghoul into a screening position, but I didn't. And that's another Black Orc out with a KO. Go Mighty Blow. And I also get to block this one. Oh, and that one is dead. Alright. There is my second trophy. My second pet. He's joined the team. At the end of the game though, I pressed no. Oh, we've got the zombie glitch. Awesome. Yeah, zombie with no head. We didn't have that in game. That's interesting. Yeah, I actually pressed no at the end of the game for the zombie, which was a mistake, but it happened. Fireball. Fireball puts down all 3 pieces. I've never seen that happen before, but that was a fantastic fireball and perfectly timed, I have to say. That is probably going to secure him the score. Yeah, so I accidentally fired the zombie, and as you can see from the face, actually, the zombie that I replaced him with, I actually bought the zombie and gave him the same name, but I missed out the apostrophe, and I also gave him a different face. So yeah, that was a misclick. I clicked no when I wanted to, of course, take him. I thought he was a loner for some reason, and I replaced him with something with the same name. So we're going to pretend that piece was the piece that I got as a trophy, but I've been playing so many games about a trophy I forgot what to do with them. And Morbus does a very good job of positioning the ball here. He's made it very, very difficult for me to get there. And I'm not going to take a risk trying to get there. I'm going to take a risk trying to slow him down, but I'm not going to take a risk actually getting there. I'm bringing all of my team this way to slow him down as much as possible. But, well, even with these 2 pieces and taking the blitz here, it's not really going to help me. All I can really hope for is that he tries to roll some dice and something goes wrong at this point, and I'm well aware. So I'm just going to take a block against the blitzer. And the ghoul is going to be freed by that as well, because of course the ghoul has dodge. So he can effectively dodge out and stop the player, because he has to double GFI if he wants to score this turn. And he does his best to return fire and make sure that no pieces are stopping him completely. He can now successfully make a screen, basically. No, actually, he still needs to put the ghoul down first. If he puts the ghoul down now, he can make a successful screen with this lineman, and he does put the ghoul down. And he makes the screen with the blitzer anyway. Blitzer runs through, I can't get to him. Good enough. I don't think I can actually reach him anyway, without going right through the middle at least. I'm not even sure if I can get there going right through the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can with 2 GFIs, but I can't do it well enough, that's for certain. what I can do instead is pick off one of these pieces and hope he tries to stall. I actually think I picked off this piece, and it looks like that's where I'm aiming for. Or I maybe gave up completely actually and just went for a couple of blocks in this area. Yeah, I did. Oh no, I did pick off this piece. Okay, I did the clever thing. So I bring the monster down as the one chance to stop him if he does decide to stall. But if he does decide to stall, he's better off moving sideways. And just to give me one last chance to stop him. One last chance to counter attack and get a score back. So certainly what I would do, and it's certainly what he does. Good play. Now he can make a screen. If he leaves these two pieces here, then everything's gravy. Oh, but he doesn't. He moves everything. And the problem with this is, if you do this, you have to stand up this piece, you have to stand up this piece, and you've got to kind of sacrifice the fact that this piece is going off the pitch, but at least I won't be able to get too many players based with your semi-screen here. However, he doesn't pick up either, which means that basically my whole team can get onto this cage. This was quite bad from Morbus, if I'm honest, because this gave me a real chance to stop him. Even though I can't hit the ball carrier, I can get a lot of pieces to give him a lot of trouble here. And I do exactly that. There's only, I think, 2 pieces that cannot base this group. Or maybe I need 1 GFI to base with some of the zombies, but yeah, I use the zombies to actually clean up here so these pieces aren't moving. This piece maybe can. No, I need 2 GFIs, so I'm not using any of these pieces basically. I could have moved him though, it's a pretty stupid place to keep him. Anyway, so Monster does the blitz, knocks down the blitzer, and he bases the ball carrier. That's a 1-die block to put Monster down, and you've got to make it work. So, yeah, I think that was pretty poor play from Morbus, to be honest. That makes it a 2-die though, at least. He took the right 1-die first. That makes it a 2-die, sorry. So, fortunately that's good enough. Anything less than a knockdown and stand firm happens, ball isn't going anywhere. But it works, and he also takes a block that he doesn't need to against a zombie. And the second one that he doesn't need to. Oh, he got away with a lot in this turn, actually. Yeah, that's 2 turns in a row that I question his choices, but he does finally get the score. Well done, Morbus. Morbus, not Morbus, Morbus. Sorry, this guy had a G. Not this guy, the one who took the block then. So, I was reading his name. So, 2 orcs still out injured. Keo comes back. In the screen, if there are weird sounds. I've got a zombie wolf out of Keo, so we're going 9 against 9, and I have a race to get the ball at the pitch. We have 3 turns, which is enough time if I'm dead. It's even enough time if I use the ghoul to pick up the ball and run all the way up. Though the idea will be to get Frankenstein on the side with a zombie, and he leaves a nice big gap like he has done, and up I go. After putting this piece down and locking up this piece. Yep, still leaving a gap. That's big enough. It's good enough for me, and he is bringing a lot of pieces forward. He's left 1 in reserve though. He's done that at least. This one's basically in reserve as well. So Frankenstein and the zombie take to the side. Everybody else is going to load the line, and the ghoul takes the ball. Excellent. Exactly what I wants to happen. Right, here we go. And that's a blitz. Well, that kind of screws up everything. My heart sank when I saw that blitz. So that means that he can take a reroll against Frankenstein, leaving him with no rerolls. That's a little bit of breathing room for me. It means that I can do a bit of potatoing with Ghoul, because Ghoul has dodge. So that's going to be the goal now. And after he did this, I hoped he moved the whole team this way, because if he does that, Ghoul goes this way. Easy. He did leave the Black Orc kind of in a position to return, but he does move the rest of the team into a position where it's going to take them a couple of turns. So we got this Blitzer and this Black Orc to worry about, but we can lock them up if we get a couple of successful dice. Now we've got 3 rerolls, so plenty of work to do here, and plenty of space and breathing room to do it. A lineman down is a good start. Let's try and get another one down. That's not good enough, but that's fine, we're not wasting a reroll on that. And a headless, faceless zombie that's... oh, his head's actually in his groin. Fantastic. Oh, that was really weird. Okay. I love that glitch. I see it so often because I play Undead and Necromantic so much. It's quite a funny glitch. Double skull's no good, have to reroll. Didn't want to reroll before I went for the pickup really. I didn't put that piece down either, I could have done the reroll then. The pickup then. And realizing that, I do the pickup now, which is good, thankfully. And I need to GFI twice in order to make this viable, so I will. And I also go for a double GFI blitz, which is pushing my luck a bit, but I need this piece down, ideally. And that's not down. That's actually awful. So I keep him in the 3 tackle zones, so he doesn't get an easy way out. And I was kind of hoping that if I put the piece down I could just run up this way, but Morbus helped me, to be honest, because he brought the team this way, which meant that he left a gap for the ghoul to go this way. And I can see that even now, that the flank is off. And that's a dead zombie, and it's a dead block zombie. Hope he comes back, but it's not a big loss if he's gone. And he doesn't come back, so unfortunately that's a zombie that's gone forever. Bye bye Leo the Old, though he is one of the ones I don't really care about, so... well, I don't care about him. And the 2 down is very good for me, though the stun is very bad, actually. But that's a big enough gap. All I need to do is put this Black Orc down. And with all these pieces, that should be fine with a reroll. So let's set that up with the help of the X-Orc. And we're also going to put this Blitzer down because he's a trouble as well. And we're going to do that first. Reroll already. Push isn't good enough. Push makes it dangerous. However, I got to keep everything based. This is my one chance. If this goes wrong, we're screwed, but it goes right. That's lucky. That means that these 2 pieces are based. And now I need to base this piece with this piece. Then run through potato style and hope that the dodge or something fails. No GFIs though, not worth the risk. And I have a reroll. If he does manage to put the ghoul down, I think I can still score if he puts him down this way at least. If he puts him down this way, no. And he doesn't have to dodge actually, because I didn't pick up the white, which was silly. But thankfully he gets a skull on the block, so that's enough for me to draw the game. And Digger runs it in for a 1-1 draw. Morbus, it was a good game, and it was tense. I know we had a moment where we kind of fell out a little bit, but we recovered from that after not talking for a little while, and the game was good in the end, so well played, and I hope to meet you again. And I think you can probably agree that a draw wasn't such a bad result in the end, it was kind of fair. So, Gwenail the Blitzer gets man of the match, and Quintus Morton gets man of the match. 1 touchdown each, 1 death each, 12 armor breaks to 10 armor breaks. In terms of SPP, we both got loads. 5 for the man of the match. Gustav is the one who died, I think. Naeith'nor is the old war dancer, so he's 2 away from a level up finally. We can give him hopefully dodge or leap, but block if nothing else. Gerhard the Troublemaker is also a zombie that I don't really care about, and Igor is the ghoul. Morris was the blitzer who scored. Trust and Gabhag, I think, were both Black Orcs, and Grenale was the blitzer that we just saw with man of the match. Just to show you the last 2 games as well, I lost 2-0 to Kemri, thanks to dice, entirely thanks to dice. Nothing went my way, everything went their way. They didn't even fail a pickup once. Even a white got a score, because a touchback led to the ball getting to him, and I never managed to get him down, even though he didn't cage it. That's how bad the dice were. And in this game, I almost got fielded, actually, by the Nurgle kill team. And on the plus side, though, I did manage to permanently injure his Pestigore, so that's one piece that is going to be doing less damage long term, hopefully. Having a look at the team then, because we've had a couple of games, let's go through them very quickly. I do have a level up to go for as well, the zombie who leveled up. Frankenstein has only taken the minus armor value as something new, and he's 10 away from leveling up again, so I'm kind of hoping he dies, to be honest, so I can just replace him with Yuri, who I've bought, and Frankenstein can become a zombie, because I don't feel right having 2 whites. The team seems a bit overpowered now. And then we've got Monster, who is 1 away from leveling up. Leica, who has been given plus movement from its last level up. We've had a lot of discussion about kickoff return. I personally like it on Leica in this team setup. Even if I don't pick up the ball itself, it means that Leica can reposition if the ball goes somewhere where I really don't want it to go. But yeah, kickoff return on a werewolf is interesting, I do agree. But I didn't have a ghoul at first as well, don't forget. We still have Igor. He finally got some points because he managed to score. I should try and level him up really next game. It's going to be the goal, I think. And Naeith'nor is 1 away, and we've got Morglum Eatbrains, who I misspelt in the chance, and I gave a different face, but there we go. I didn't buy him, so whoops, I had to replace him by buying one with the same name. So let's just pretend that this is the orc that died. Marcus is out, and he's been given a minus movement, which is pretty bad on the foul piece, but we'll take it. Then Gustav will roll in a minute. Gerhardt, they're both quite a way away, and my last block piece, the one who got blocked actually last game, is also dead. I've put Rigger at the bottom because I kind of hope he dies, to be honest. I may even fire him at some point, because especially if he takes 1 more minus stat, that would be awful. But he's not looking very good at the moment. The only reason I'm keeping him is because he's my 1 guard piece, though I may remove him even now, because he's basically just blout at the moment, and that's it. There's nothing else to him. I'll think about that one before next game. I've got 11 pieces without him, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so if I fire him, I'm down to 11, but I'll have 1. I may keep him 1 more game. Yeah, I'll keep him 1 more game. Anyway, let's roll Gustav. Let's see what we get. Oh, doubles. That's interesting. I'll tell you what I might give him. I might give him Sneaky Git. I could give him Mighty Blow to give him that extra little bit of power in the pitch. I could give him Piling On, it's kind of a free foul. We've got 4 block pieces with a new white, so I don't need to give him block, anything like that. Sneaky Git or Piling On. I think they're my 2 options basically. So Sneaky Git I have to foul. Piling On I just have to follow, and if he gets fouled then that's fine. Though this team does always have a bribe, so Sneaky Git is maybe better. This one's hard. No, I think I'm going to give him Piling On for those games where I don't have a bribe. It's kind of a free foul that I can take. So yes, we're going to go for that. We have a zombie with Piling On. His name is Gustav the Old. And he was the one who actually got the 2 SPP that I said was the dead piece, but it wasn't, it was him. So that's good enough. Righto. Let's have a look at our team belly now as well, so I don't know what it is. We're at 1280, which is high. Yeah, with that double as well, I think I have to Alright, I'll think about it before I make the next game, whether I remove Rigor or not. But it's quite possible. So after that game we are 5, 2, and 8 with 1 kill inflicted by the crowd, so it doesn't count. And we've lost 2 pieces during our career so far, both of them zombies. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll see you soon or on the pitch. May Nuffle tickle your funny bone. Bye bye.